Now, you've heard me say before that the only constant in life is change. Well, I need to amend that because even though change is one of the only constants in life, I think there's another constant in life, and that constant is disappointment. The only constants in life are change and disappointment. Well, Jeff, I don't get disappointed. Well, if you don't have disappointments, then you're not doing enough. If you don't have disappointment, you're not trying enough. If you don't have disappointment, you're not reaching enough. If you don't have disappointment, you're not adventurous enough. So I want to talk about how to bounce back from disappointment fast. But, cousin, if you're not getting any disappointment in your life, you need to do something about that fast. Take a risk. Have a daring adventure. Try to do something you've never done before. Try to do someone you've never done before. Try to do something extraordinary. Don't live in the gray, cold, dead world of same as usual. But anyway, that's not what I was here to talk about. How do you recover from disappointment fast? Well, number one, know that disappointment's part of life. Disappointment is part of being the last generation of real humans that are trying to do something and get something done. Disappointment's part of being a wall-to-wall, treetop tall, 10-foot tall and bulletproof kind of person. So get used to disappointment because you're going to have it from now and then. So understand, number one, to bounce back from disappointment, that disappointment is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means you learned another way that won't work. But that doesn't mean you're not going to find a way that will work. So understand that disappointment is not necessarily bad. Disappointment can be a learning experience, and disappointment can actually be indicative of the fact that you're living a life that is a daring adventure. So don't fear disappointment so much. Let disappointment be a friend rather than a foe necessarily. Number two, keep disappointment in context. My granddaddy told me something years ago that has stuck with me that I think is absolutely profound. He said, Jeffrey, the man that had no shoes felt really bad until he met the man that had no feet. Think about that, cousins. Yeah, I just had a relationship that fell apart that I thought was the one. Yeah, I was disappointed. Yeah, I felt bad. Yeah, I thought the world was coming to an end for a little while. But then I woke up and realized, you know what? The sun still came up this morning. The birds are still chirping. The waves are still rushing in at the shore. And all is as it was in the universe before Jeffrey Darty had his relationship come to an end. So keep it in perspective, cousins. As bad as you think something is, it's probably really not that bad. So allow yourself to keep perspective, and also allow yourself to feel bad. Allow yourself to eat some junk food, sleep a lot, and not go to the gym for 3 or 4 days. Whatever you got to do to get yourself, allow yourself to mourn, I guess. Allow yourself to feel bad. And then I recommend that you take a moment to take some inventory and ask yourself, you know what? Maybe this wasn't rejection. Maybe this was protection. You take a minute to write down on paper or just go through in your mind, what was I really trying to save? What was really going on? What am I really missing? What don't I have in my life post disappointment that I had in my life pre disappointment? And are those really things I want? Was it rejection or was it protection, cousin? I think those things can help you bounce back from disappointment and bounce back from disappointment fast. They're kind of big boy, they're kind of big girl things. Number one, who says don't fear disappointment? That's a thing that we all hate is disappointment. But listen, disappointment can be a good thing. It means you're trying, it means you're pushing, it means you're stretching your paradigms, it means you're pushing the envelope, it means you're doing things, trying things, being things that you never have before. Disappointment can be your friend. It's an indicator that you're doing some stuff, in my humble opinion. Number two, keep it in perspective. Just because something you lose a relationship, you lose a job, you wreck your car, okay, big deal. There's a lot worse things going on in this world. Dust yourself off, take care of business, and get back on the road, rocking and rolling. Get back to doing what you do. Go back to the gym, start fasting again, start doing cardio again, start reading again, start doing your YouTubes again, start doing whatever you do again, start being you again and building your positive momentum. And then take a check and say, am I really missing something because it was good for me, or am I missing something because I developed some sort of an addiction or a normalcy to it? Those things will help you get over disappointment and get over disappointment fast. And we can't have y'all disappointed because we're the last generation of real humans and we need you to get busy. And typically, if you're down in the dumps and disappointed, you're not going to be busy. The man who had no shoes felt really bad till he saw the man that had no feet. Cousin, it's not as bad as you think it is. Get back on that horse and ride. Let's get over disappointment. Let's get over disappointment fast. Yes, we can feel loss, but look at the big picture. Look at the big perspective. Feel disappointment. And if you're not being disappointed, you're not doing enough. If you're not being disappointed, you're not living with enough adventure. You're not living with enough gusto. You're not taking enough risks. If you aren't failing on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, ratchet up your adventure meter, brother or sister. That's just my advice. But of course, I'm a wild-eyed, optimist, crazy person that lives 100% pedal to the metal, wall-to-wall, treetop tall, 10 feet tall and bulletproof, pretty much 365. So I can promise you this. It's never boring. And you have some amazing adventures, and disappointment is no stranger in your life. But that's okay because we know how to recover from it fast. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. I am a crazy person, but you're watching me, so that might say something about you as well. We're crazy, but we're the last generation of real humans. Let's get over it and let's get busy.